Almost a complete year later, and the HBK's back. Hiking at a forest preserve, out of shape like you wouldn't believe. Fat, disgusting. But we're going to do something about that. Took a shot at work, got pretty hurt. 3 procedures later, and finally back walking. This is the Hickory Creek Bikeway trails. It's all asphalt. We're gonna go left today. Fucking spider webs already. We're gonna try left. We'll see what left gets us. I think that's another parking area. I took the first parking area, and we'll see how it goes today. This will be like a welcome back Ruck Rant. Obviously, I ain't got the health yet to be rucking, but we will get there. You mark my words. You ain't holding the HBK down. Not with 10 men. But here we go. Might be out of shape, might be breathing heavy. But we'll get it. We'll make it. See how long of a video I can put out today. But we'll get a look at a new one. This one's actually not too far from the house. I pass it a lot and I've never came to it. But we'll check it out. Maybe we'll come back with a bike this summer. Hello. Little creaky area there. See what we got coming up. I'll flip it. Little wooded area here. We got the road here. A little wooded area. Not really wooded, grass area. As we come up around this little bend here where the second parking area is. Looks like a shitter and a gazebo and a dumpster, actually. I like that they have a dumpster here because a lot of these places people don't really take care of, which is an absolute shame, especially when there's garbage cans there for them. So coming up around the bend, we'll see the other parking area and everything we got going over here. Kind of sucks that I didn't get to get out in the spring. I wasn't able yet. Got the ice cream truck. Ice cream man comes to a forest preserve. That's pretty odd. But pretty cool nonetheless at the same. Yeah, I'd have rather got out in the spring than start out when we got this much overgrowth and vegetation, when the bugs are going to be running rampant. So, not a big deal. We'll hit the sign up here, take a look at what the track looks like. All right. How's it going? Do a little flip. There's the shitter. There's the gazebo. Got like a little area to hang out outside the gazebo. It looks like it's pretty well maintained. Grass is cut nice. Got some garbage cans. They got grills outside the gazebo. Nice little maintained area. Let's see, Hickory Creek Preserves. Usually they have a "you are here" thing. So this thing, it's kind of a monster trail here, because you come all the way down. You could do a loop-de-loop here or go across, all the way, come up, up, up and around and back. Oh, so these are regular trails, and these are paved trails, and I'm thinking these are streets, so that's a street. So you have to drive on these streets to get to these different trails. I think this is where we're at. Somewhere, one of these. I think we're here. We're here right now. Maybe we'll walk to the bridge and back just as the first day out. And we'll see how things roll. Got the shitters. Kids doing some chalk art. Looks like a bumblebee. Alright. Let's do the old flipperoo. Alright, I'm back. No Black Rifle coffee today since it's later in the day. It's 2:48. I got out late today. It's on a Sunday. And I was debating whether to do it, whether I should go back to the one that I've done most of my walks in, Shanahan. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go on Google Maps and I'll hit Forest Preserve. And this was the second one that came up. It's not far from the house. Yeah, so not a big deal. Be a nice one to get out, take a walk, get back home, get ready for work conditioning this week. Started that so I can get back to work. Hopefully sooner than later. Yeah, so forgot how sore you can get from lifting, because I haven't done it in so long. How's it going? And this whole weekend has been a mess. I will start out by saying I don't remember the name of the brand, but I bought one of those suction things. It's got a red light, it's got suction, it's got heat. I will swear by them. If you get sore, if you got nagging injuries, 1000%. Now, it's not going to fix an actual injury, but something that's been nagging you for a while. My lower back, since I had that car accident, has been twisted metal. I put that sumbitch on there. As soon as I took it off, instant relief. And I haven't had instant relief in a long time. Probably 2 years. So I haven't had any relief really. But yeah, it's great. I mean, it's not a 24/7 relief, but man, it worked. The only bad part is it bruises the fuck out of your body. And you got these round circles all over you, kind of like cupping. But man, I swear by this shit. I'm not all about these fads or these fucking stupid bullshit things that everybody tells you, oh, it's a new big thing. Like all those dickheads are doing Ozempic and all that other shit now that they're finding out that they were too lazy to just work out and just not eat. Like anybody else who wants to lose weight. Now they take that, and would you know it, they found studies that shit's destroying your bones. I told my wife and anybody who'd listen, I said, you know what's gonna be funny? I said, do you remember those commercials in the middle of the night when we were growing up? I would always say, have you ever took this product? If so, you might be part of a class action lawsuit. Most of them were always pharmaceutical shit. Once in a while it'll be something else, but a lot of times it was pharmaceutical shit. And I never thought nothing of it. I was always young when that shit came out, and as I got older and I saw how this shit became fads, that people would take stuff constantly and give you a shot while I'm talking. I mean, this is beautiful. This would have been better in the spring without all the overgrowth and you could see everything. But I love living in areas like this where you could just walk. There's nothing but forest, trees. I mean, as much as I don't like all this brush because of the bugs and shit, I mean, this is great still. I'll take this over a fucking loud ass city any day. But anyway, I never had any thought of it, never wondered or anything, because pharmaceuticals weren't really a thing for me growing up. Never really went to the doctor, never really needed it, never. I mean, I still really don't unless it's something major, but I never realized people took medicine when they weren't sick. And that's always been a thing. I mean, I guess I was just naive. But, yeah, that's crazy shit, man. You see all these people, tons of people. Like, it's nuts how many people you see. And they don't even look like a healthy skinny. Like, I get it because I did bodybuilding shows and I wrestled and I fought and I boxed. I did a whole bunch of stuff where I had to watch my weight throughout my life. So I always had that I still do, even though I'm a fat shite now. But I've always had that mindset of that self-conscious, like, you gotta stay here. For most of my life, I mean, just saying, it's just the truth. I'm not bragging, but I had abs my whole life. And guy just passed, but here's a trail. I'd like to get a map of this place, so let's see what this trail is. I don't really want to go on a grass trail right here. It's a half mile. Yeah, I'll stay on this track for now. We're at the bridge already. I'm gonna keep going a little bit because I'm actually feeling better than I thought I would. Got a bench. Always benches we know are dedicated to where the birds sing. Marge and Jim Jacobson, rest in peace. But yeah, I never thought twice of it because that's how I wanted to look, and that's what I did. I made myself look that way. How's it going? So I just made it happen. I mean, not that I always ate right, but I always stayed in really good shape. And I feel like if you're always active, you're always in really good shape. I'd say 7 or 8 times. I'm not going to say a full 10. Because there are people who are in phenomenal shape who just have dad guts, but they're in phenomenal shape. So, but most of the time, you'll look good. And I think that's a choice. Here we go. Nice river. Maybe I come here with the fishing pole. Here's we're on the bridge. You can go right on that shore and cast. Nice. We get a look of it from here. Looks like a dead animal there. It is a dead animal. I can't tell and I can't zoom because my camera's broken on my phone. This is as good as I can get. That is a dead animal. Looking down there reminds me of my boy, Big Germ. When we would go on floats and stuff down the Tennessee River, he'd always tell us about the eddies and the Freddies. The little ripples in the water, those are the eddies. He said you always got to be watching out for the eddies because the eddies will flip you over. I do miss that. I do miss being with the boys, taking a full day on the river and just saying fuck it, man. Those were some good times, man. Usually it was me, Chris Thomas, Ben Rodwell, Big Jermishmeal, Kyle Shelton, and Nelson. Ethan Nelson would come out with us, and we would get little boats, tubes, canoes. Man, there's water everywhere out here. We have been getting a lot of rain out in Illinois, though. But, yeah, they set you up at one spot and you just go down. Quick funny story. I know my ADD has stories going all over the place, but this is a double bubble story. One where I almost died and got impaled. So speaking of the heavy rains and stuff down there, when it rains on the river, the water rises on the river. And I never grew up around that shit, so I didn't know, and I didn't know the rules. And man, this is a pretty steep hill I'm walking, but that's what I need. I need to be in shape. So didn't know no better, and we would jump sometimes into the water and get wet because it was hot as fuck down in Tennessee. And yeah, so we found a downed tree that was hanging over. A couple people jumped off the tree into the water. And of course the HBK's got to be the showstopper, like the asshole that I am. I know I can admit that sometimes. So I did this jump off the big piece of tree. Thomas got what to this day would have been one of my favorite pictures of myself because it looked so fucking badass. I was in the air, arched back. With each hand I grabbed my feet and just arched. The picture just looked super fucking cool. And man, this is a heavy fucking upgrade. But we gotta do it. We can't bitch about it. We can bitch. Bitching's the fun part, but man, this is the highest graded path I've walked on since I've been out here, I think. But yeah, Thomas just took that motherfucking picture at the perfect time, not knowing that seconds later I could be dead. Remembering back when I said when the waters come up, something I never knew about, you don't know what's underneath the waters. You can't really see because it's in the river. And you're hoping it's just water. You've seen people jump in before you. So there was a huge piece of something sticking up. I thought I was impaled. I thought it went right through my gooch and my asshole. Thought I was gonna be bleeding out. The best grandpa ever, John Sokol, 1950 to 2020, 70 years old. So I'm holding the gooch. I'm fucking freaking out, thinking I'm gonna bleed out. Everyone's looking in the water. Nobody's saying a fucking word. They're looking for the blood. Whew. Thank God. We got in the boat, pulled down my pants. It looked like a black eye, but there was no puncture. Thank God it was round enough or not sharp, nothing, or else that could have ended very badly. And Fast forward a little bit, same story. Those Eddies and Freddies. I want to say Thomas and Robbo were riding together. I want to say that one big germ was in a canoe or a kayak. And I want to say me and Nellie were in ours together, if I remember correctly. Texas Chainsaw Massacre over there, you can hear them. But whew. How's it going? But as we were going, Thomas hit one of those eddies or the Freddies, and his boat tipped over. Now we had these things that I used in Afghanistan to keep like my camera in and shit like that. They're airtight. They're super cool. I still got maybe one or two of them at the house. And he had in there, he was the one that drove us all the time. I think he had like a white SUV. And Jesus Christ, that's loud. They're really getting after it over there. But yeah, that went over. Lost the little case that had everything in it, which had his camera, his car keys, his wallet, and that was the end of that. And thank God he's from Tennessee, because when we got to the bottom, he used one of our phones to call his mom, because we couldn't even get in his car. Thank God the people down there were cool and let us just hang out. But you got shit like this, but with water, lots of it, so that the bugs are horrible. We're getting bit up to no end. And his mom ended up coming, saving the day, absolutely fucking saving the day. Thank you, Mrs. Thomas, for saving the day that day. Getting him his spare key, and we were able to get back to base. But yeah, that all happened in one day. How's it going? But yeah, there were good days and bad days, mostly good days doing that. That was always a fun thing to do. We had that. We had found another place, another, I want to say a river, that we found a rope swing on one day with our platoon Sergeant King. And I think at that time, whoever was in our platoon, everybody went out that day to the fucking, to go hang out and bond together, which was cool. I always liked that about Sergeant King. As hard as he was on us, as far as because he was a hard guy himself, he was very big on the guys bonding and shit like that. Building that bond between guys. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's fish in here. Let me see if I can flip it. Tons of little fish down there. They're all little, but there's a ton of them. All swimming. Let's see what there is on the other side. If there's anything. Yep. Bunch of little guys there. Interesting. Yeah, but those were some good times. But I think I made a lot further on this trail than I thought I would, especially being my first time out in over a year. But oh, there's a bird. This ain't a bad trail. This is, to me, more of a bicycle trail because it's paved over. I don't mind paved trails. But like, I mean, there's so many fucking bugs out here. There's a little turn up here. I think we'll get to the turn, give a look, see what we got going on up there, and god damn it, and maybe flip a bitch and turn around. But yeah, back on one thing to bitch about, that Ozempic shit. It's crazy to see how most people who take that shit just look so unhealthy. Like, if I had a choice to put in a little bit of extra time to be in shape and actually be healthy, or take some kind of fucking drug to lose weight but not be healthy, no chance. Then again, if you're taking it, yeah, I'm gonna turn around here, and you're no birdie, I'm following you, birdie, to the water. If you're taking it and you're getting in phenomenal shape, that's a whole different story. Another good place to possibly fish. Wonder if there would be any in here. Sure is a lot of bugs. You can hear something over there. Trail, so I'm assuming people have fished in here. Let's get to the little bench here. We'll turn around, flip a bitch, call it a day. But yeah, another little inn. Probably not a good spot to fish underneath this. I cut that branch down there so I can pull that one out of the water, so I can actually pull in whatever I got. Let's see, Jonathan and Julie. Galatia, God bless, in loving memory. Rest in peace, Jonathan and Julie. Let's turn around here. And yeah, we'll get back on the right side. I mean, now that I'm back on the trails, I have been gone for so long, I have no shortage of shit to bitch about. No shortage of shit to rant about. So I'll have plenty of stuff, plenty of things to complain about. And it'll be Operation Get the Fat Fuck Back in Shape. And I've never missed a mission. I've never missed a patrol. And I never failed. So we're not going to fail this time. We're going to get the fat fuck back in shape. Because my body feels like somebody beat me with a fucking sock full of soap over the last fucking year. That's what happens when you do nothing. Your body just starts giving up on itself. Fuck you, that ain't happening to me. So, yeah, this wasn't bad. I probably could have went further. I mean, we walked out for about, what do we got? Almost 30 minutes one way. That's not bad. We'll see. We'll see what we got. My buddy Joey has been asking to come back out. I got my one buddy that we had out last time, where we had a Ruck Rant together in Shanahan, Mikey. He's been off work as well, a little bit longer than me. He got hurt. Need to get his ass out, taking walks with me. It'll just like walking talks. That's what we'll call it instead of the Ruck Rants until we can get the fucking rucksack back on. We ain't gonna do false advertisements, but we'll call it walking talks. If I can even fucking remember that by the time I get to the fucking car, but that'll be a good one. Yeah, we got a few other people who maybe we can get, and we'll fucking just have random conversations. But yeah, feeling pretty good for the first one, even though most of the way on going this way was up, and now I'm going back up somehow again. But yeah, this isn't bad. I love this shit. I love being out in nature. Coming back up on that Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, or whatever the fuck he's doing. I don't know if he's weed whacking or hacking up bodies. I can't really tell the sound. But yeah, doing good so far. The ankle's holding up, which is a solid plus. Let's move into something else that I kind of bitched a lot about before, and this will probably be one of the things I bitch most about while on these walks. Politics. I've told my buddies many times, I said, when could we just go back to the days when nobody talked about fucking politics? Nobody fucking did. We argued about sports, we argued about music, we argued about stupid shit that we heard, whether it was true or not, because we really didn't have the internet to fact check. I mean, but those were all fun things to argue about. We had, like, I don't know. Now everything and everybody, all they do is talk about fucking politics. How's it going? And it's fucking boring as fuck. It's stupid. Most of the people who argue have no clue what they're talking about. They hear a talking point that they could fucking stick their fist in the air and rah-rah about. And some of the times they're even wrong about it. Like, and then you get to the point where people refuse to stop talking to people just because they like somebody who wears a different color tie than the person that they like. I'll say this. I'll talk about religion and I'll talk about politics. The way I am and the way I've always been is I'm very strong in my beliefs. Very strong. Feet dug in. That doesn't mean that if you tell me something that sticks a shovel under those feet and pulls them out of the ground, I'll change the way I look at things 100%. I'm not wearing fucking alcohol glasses to where I only believe what I believe, no matter how much evidence is out there. And it's just wild. Like, how's it going? You get these people who, when Trump first ran, either you were for him or you hated him. And that was it. There was no in between. That's when politics started becoming gay. And It's like, I don't give a shit if we have a female president. It's going to happen eventually. Hillary wasn't the right one. But then everyone took Trump and voted for him just because he ran his mouth. He doesn't do a fucking thing he says he's going to do. This is the second term that he doesn't do shit, but when something happens, he pats himself on the back like he's fucking just saved the world. The funniest thing I've ever seen is him patting himself on the back for opening the Strait of Hormuz. Motherfucker, it was open before Israel told you to bomb Iran. So you're patting yourself on the back for doing something that was already done. And people eat that shit up, man. He does that about a lot of stuff. How's it going? And all the stuff he ran on, no new wars. We're at war with Iran. Don't tell me we're not. Soldiers have died. That's a war to me. Call it a conflict if you want, but to me that's a war. He ran on the Epstein files. He's fought that shit at every fucking turn. Dan Bongino, that scumbag piece of shit fucking pedophile protector, all he did was talk about how we gotta release that shit. See, when Biden was president, you had all of the Republicans fucking smashing on that shit. And then when they got in office off of something that they promised, campaign promise, we're going to release the Epstein and JFK files. They've been forced to release the Epstein files. I haven't seen the JFK files. And the things in the Epstein files are all fucking redacted. And would you fucking know it? Nobody's been arrested. And every fucking time Trump's asked about it, he immediately flips turns and shits on the media. And when he shits on the media, people are afraid to ask the backup questions. And every fucking media source, and I don't give a fuck what you say, every single one isn't a media source. It's a political media source. Fox News is a Republican media source. CNN is a Democrat media source. They're not real media sources. They're pushing what they want you to hear. So if you watch either one of them, which I encourage you to watch both so you can see how fucking wild it is, you'll get two entirely different stories on the exact same thing. Whew, sweating like an ass. So, I mean, it's wild. And then, so his first term, I get it. Most of the time he was being impeached. Can't really do much if you're being impeached your entire term. But he never did anything anyways. Then Biden becomes president. Because people got tired of Trump. Understandable. Biden becomes president. The guy's falling asleep and shitting his pants. I mean, we can't be electing people like this anymore. These guys are old as fuck. Even Trump now is old as fuck. He's falling asleep. There's videos of him falling asleep now. He used to call Biden Sleepy Joe. There's no way anybody can convince me that Biden ran the country back then. He didn't. There's no way. Joe Biden was as incompetent as it gets, and it showed during the last presidential debate. And I'm not hating on the guy, it's just sad. He was that far along and nobody did anything about it. I think they didn't do anything about it because the person that would have replaced him was as incompetent, and she had all her faculties. Kamala Harris is absolutely awful. And just my opinion, and I could be wrong, I feel like Biden's wife was really pulling the strings and she didn't want to give up the power. Hence why they ran that guy back out again to try and run for another term. And immediately had to pull his ass after that debate because he couldn't figure out how to talk. And all you did was have Trump yelling and screaming like a fucking goofball. Like, I mean, it was funny at first during the first election when he was talking shit to like one of the Bushes and Rubio and that fat shit down in Texas. I can't remember his name. Bought and paid for by Israel. But, and he admits it. But, it was funny when he was talking shit during debates because we've never seen that before. We've seen people with decorum. We've seen people basically just beat around the bush and state their points. And Trump never told you any of his fucking, anything he was running on. Just talk shit. And everybody loved it. They're like, yeah, he's a regular dude. I'm a regular dude. He's not. He's an asshole. A rich asshole. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against rich people. Most, not all, acquired their money through working for it. And if you worked for your money and got your money, God bless you. Fuck everybody who has anything to say about it or wants to tax you extra for it. You earned it and you deserved it. You outworked somebody who wasn't willing to work as hard or take the chances that you took, and you got where you wanted to be. Despite all that. Now, it's just so annoying hearing people talk about politics. Like, the whole ICE debate's really big. Is ICE good or ICE bad? I'll give you my opinion on ICE. You could take it or leave it, or debate it, or argue with it. It's cool. I'm not going to be butthurt, but my stance on ICE is we've had ICE for a long time in our country. I feel it's necessary. I feel like we need ICE. I feel like there's things going on in our country, illegal immigrants, trafficking, all sorts of stuff where ICE needs to take the burden off of local police. And we have ICE to do specifically that job. At the same time, you see a lot of these videos that were posted, and you see they weren't doing a good job. How's it going? I'll give one case in point, and I'll preface it. So, obviously, for whatever reason, you're going to have agitators. And there's people agitating ICE all the time. I don't know why you would do that. You think it's wrong that somebody came in the country illegally, broke the law, and you want to send them back. Now, my idea on that is if you came in illegally, but you're contributing to society, you're not a burden on society, I have no problem with an immediate path to citizenship, if that's what you want. If not, there's no sense in you being here. You can go back to where you came from if you don't want to be a citizen. Because then at that point, you're becoming a burden. That being said, these people have all these ideas, and they're wild, and they're trying to protest ICE. protesting is legal. It's a very good thing, protesting. Getting your voice to be heard, talking about things. But there's a right and wrong way to do it. Now I get it, the labor union protests, being that I'm in a labor union, have gotten violent. All sorts of crazy shit. Understood. But at the same time, I feel like those are two totally different topics. We have laws in the country. If you don't like the law, fight the law, not the people enforcing the law. So, I don't know what the fuck that was. If you break in my house and I shoot you in the head and you die, let's say there's a law in the books that makes that self-defense. Because there's been cases of that happening, and then the parents of the kid or the family's like, they were just trying to rob you. Which to me is bonkers that you would even try and make that okay, but at the same time, that's self-defense. If you don't like the law, fight the law, call your congressman. Don't fight the people who were trying to defend themselves. So, all these people being agitators, I'm going to use one example. From my understanding, the guy was a shitbag. The guy who was working as a VA nurse. That's what you hear about the guy. From what I heard, I didn't really do too much research because I don't give a fuck. But I think he was fired from being a VA nurse. And he hadn't worked in a while, and he was just going out agitating. If that's the case, you can't pat this guy on the back for doing a good thing or being a good guy. They always try and show the best parts of people when sometimes they're not good people. So I saw the video probably 50 or more times. Sounds like somebody shooting a gun. But yeah, he was agitating. ICE was trying to push a girl back. If I remember correctly, I could be way off on this, but this is from memory of something that happened, I want to say last fall. He got involved. It took tons of dudes to take and hold this guy down. It's either fireworks or a gun. Could be either. So, as they got all these dudes holding this guy down, they see he's got a gun on him. If I remember correctly, they took the gun, removed it from the guy. Another police officer who wasn't, I'm going to call him an ICE officer, who wasn't involved in the skirmish, shot the dude a ton of times. Now, to me that's horrible training and horrible on people doing their job. That same guy kicked an ICE vehicle and kicked out one of the tail lights, which, if I know correctly, is a felony. He wasn't charged, and he was allowed to be there that day. Had he been charged, he probably wouldn't have been there that day. Still be alive. But from my understanding, they didn't charge him that day. To me, I don't know how it took that many people to hold that guy down. I get it, it's not easy to hold people down when they're going nuts. You don't know if the guy's on drugs or whatever. Got it. But as an officer of law, that's part of your job, is to detain people. 100,000% part of your job. And if it takes that many officers to detain somebody that small and skinny, there needs to be some training involved to do that. And the guy that shot the guy, however many times he unloaded into his head, I'm sorry, but that guy needs to be punished in some way. Yeah, the guy was an asshole. Yeah, he was an agitator. But all the right-wing guys who are like, he had a gun. Constitutional right to carry. That being said, there are some caveats to where, from what I guess from my understanding, you're not supposed to carry at like rallies or protests, even though there's been numerous videos of right-wing people carrying at protests with ARs and people carrying at rallies with ARs. It's good for thee, or me is not good for thee, I guess. With that being said, at the same time, all those people holding him down, he shouldn't have been shot like that. It is what it is. We're back. I'm not going to go over the bridge. Basically, what I'm trying to say is ICE needs to be trained better. All the videos I've seen this year, they're just poorly as fuck trained. And I'm for ICE. I'm about ICE. They're just trained like shit. Dog shit. So, you got an officer coming in. Got a little gazebo with some benches. It just says police, which I'm assuming is Forest Preserve Police. Flip her up. We got another gazebo. So we got two gazebos right by each other, kind of small. Two benches and picnic bench. You got bicycle-shaped bicycle racks. If you're coming to a path to ride your bicycle, unless this is, I mean, I don't know why you'd put your bike on the bike rack and lock it up. But now that we're back, Cardinals beat the Marlins 2-1. Good update. But now that we're back, it's our first time back on the Ruck Rant. Walk and talk, whatever we're going to call it. And we're going to try and make these more and more prevalent. And as always, CHBJ out.